Hello everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Um, I just had an evening coffee, so my mind is fresh and I'm going to share my experience of using this SMS Audio D400EX deck, which using Asahi Kasei AKM 4499EX dual chip fully balanced design with AKM 4191 modulator chip. Its duty is reconstruct the incoming digital signal to reduce noise and jitter and to make sure DAC chips are receiving most efficient and correct digital signal. So that is a great feature and really good option for us to have. And that is a very same feature and setting and layout and very similar design as Custard Audio A26 deck. So there are a lot of similarities, but there are big difference in price, so I will comment on that later, as well as topping E70 Velvet. Overall design is very simple and clean looking, functional setting and menu layout, very good quality display. This top one is power button and input selector. You can select all the input right here using this same button. If you want to turn it off, just hit and hold. If you want to get into the menu, hit this menu button and it will take you to menu selection. Then you can change inputs, outputs, and PCM filter, DSD filter. PCM filter, I'm using standard, and then DSD filter, also standard as it came from factory. Sound color, same as factory, sound color number 1. Pre-mode, it has variable, fixed, and fixed DSD bypass. Fixed DSD bypass is really good feature because it will bypass volume processing if you are playing DSD files, so which is really good thing. FN key, you can change it to 3 different things. And then I2S mode, you can change different I2S connection type. So I2S DSD channel, those are all the detail. Audio phase, that is if you have inverted XLR connection. Dimmer is off, and brightness, you can change it to different brightness. Then factory reset. So those are all the menu settings that you can go through. So that is very simple. This button is easy to use. I don't see any negative side of this. So I like this feature better than the one single button do it all kind of stuff. It also has the fully functional remote control that you can control all the features. D400EX is retail for $960. It can do pretty much all that digital audio formats, including MQA. Build quality and features and everything is just about right for prices. Maybe a little bit higher than it used to be. They used to be around like 800 range for this kind of offering. As usual, everything goes up. So far this year, I tried 3 decks using AKM chips. So this D400EX has control and well-defined, nice and engaging sound all over the frequency range. Bass being deep and rich sound signature, and upper bass I would love a little bit more resolution between the notes and space, because which that is a A26 can totally do it easily, but this one is still slightly lags behind compared to A26 in upper bass region. D400EX is incredibly deep bass quality, almost as good as Custard A26 can do. A26 can do better definition in overall bass notes, better separation, better in detail sound retrieval compared to this D400EX. Same thing for E70 Velvet. So this one will give you better micro detail and sound reproduction out of your music compared to E70 Velvet. D400EX clearly shows the quality above E70 Velvet from topping. It uses the very same chip. Topping E70 Velvet uses the single 4499EX chip. This SMS D400EX is using dual chips. And then 4191 modulator chip to give you better quality sound. So that's where the difference is, and as well as this one has a better power supply and internet buds are a bit better than E70 Velvet. Then when you compare to such as Gaster A26, which really enhance the listening experience a whole new level by giving you really good linear power supply, and every features and connections as well as UPnP are ready, all the features that it offer. So those are the differences, and that's where they are making big difference in price point, especially the run ready and all those features come with A26. Sound quality improvement also, you can clearly hear it and notice it. Going up from upper bass to lower mid-range transition area, it has nice resolution and detailed retrieving quality all over that range, but I would love a little bit more separation, a little bit more space between the notes like A26, but I'm not complaining. I try all that music. So that's another thing with these new breed of AKM chips, because if you throw oldies, 70s, 80s, 90s, those music sound incredibly good. If you are really big fan of music from that era, it totally shows you ability and really good musicality by reproducing all that music. By saying that, if you throw better the quality music, it will get better in definition and detailed sound reproduction, as well as giving you really wide and deep soundstage. So when I listen to oldies such as Mr. Otis Redding Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, so that track has a not so good quality recording. Even that I can totally enjoy listening to really good dead center stereo image using these Pioneer TED S1EX speakers. These speakers are 12 feet apart sitting in this room. And then when I tried Anita Meyer, Blue Bayou, or that kind of music, I mean, totally enjoyable. Even like some of my 80s band, right? Foreigner or a lot of those 80s rock, incredible. Beautifully reproduced and totally enjoyable. And when I try Adele 30 album, right? That album, I couldn't listen it with any ESS decks because it's too bright. Her voice has a lot of sibilance, and all the recording is upper mid-range is forward, and her voice is really forward. And I couldn't handle it with that album, so I don't even listen to the album with any decks other than these, because when I tried that 30 album, and I was like, man, this is incredible, engaging and really good stereo image. I like it so much that I listened to a whole album. And then I try a lot of hard rock tracks such as Metallica albums and Led Zeppelin albums and all that. So what I like about this sound reproduction with this deck is it totally brings you every detail, yet still giving you really good engaging sound quality. Deep, rich sound that if you are after, I can easily recommend this deck for you. Upper mid-range to high frequency transition area is very nicely reproduced with great detail. High frequency have really good spacious sound without getting into bright sound signature, and it will give you good high frequency extension without overemphasizing any kind of a frequency range. It would redeliver the music as original artists recorded in engaging manner. So when I auditioned this D400EX with this JBL speakers, it has really nice and dynamic sound signature, yet still giving you deep and rich sound color with nice and warmish sound signature and overall frequency range. Really good deep bass response, as well as very good frequency extension, and vocals and voices are properly reproduced. Sound signature, as this JBL has a slightly forward sounding, so that is totally reproduced. When I switched over to KEF R11, then it will be a little bit more smaller soundscape and a little bit cohesiveness in mid-range area, and I felt overall sound is a little congested compared to JBL. Then I moved over to Pioneer TED S1EX. S1EX totally brings me incredible soundscape and depth, as well as very good musicality in all over the frequency range. The vocal will be right above this amplifier area. So my amplifier, I use this Denon PMA SX11 and Sony Music server with all the cables and everything. I will be listed in the video description in case if you wonder. So overall price and performance and sound quality that we are getting, I don't think I can complain anything. SMS D400EX works the best with transparent and neutral sounding components, including your amplifiers or your speakers. If you have really rich and like a little bit rolled off sounding speakers or setup, it may not work well. But if you have transparent sounding setup, it will totally brings you great music enjoying experience. 450, 960, and 1500. So these three decks are in totally different price point. E70 and D400EX sound quality increasement is very noticeable all over the frequency range, from lowest of the notes to high frequency extension, crisper and clearer, cleaner voices and vocals, and mid-ranges incredibly better and more precise in overall sound reproduction with this D400EX compared to E70, but E70 may be more forgiving than the other two. When you go up to A26, what's gonna happen is it will give you much better precision notes and everything in a whole package, including all the features and run ready and streamer ready and all the stuff, plus darker and deeper and cleaner background and more precision notes. Hence, it can be a little bit more revealing sound compared to especially E70. So these three decks, E70 being most forgiving and most enjoyable deck, no matter what music you throw at them or any kind of setup. And then D400EX is just right in the middle, perfectly balanced sound, incredibly enjoyable to listen and very musical. So that is my favorite part of this D400EX. So it's best of both ends and you get best price and performance, in my opinion, if you don't care about streamer ready or other stuff. So if you only need DAC feature, I would suggest you try D400EX if you are shopping for any DAC in $1,000 price range. If you want to go up like above $1,000 to $3,000 range, I will sincerely recommend you to try A26. A26 is that good. So E70 is really good entry point to this AKM4499EX chip, and it shows the ability and quality of those DAC and chips design and giving you enjoyable sound signature. This D400EX is in the middle and just about perfectly placed and perfectly priced with very good sound quality to come with. So I can easily, wholeheartedly, I can recommend you to try it if you want really good sounding deck with enjoyable sound signature. This D400EX is must try deck in my opinion. Highly recommended, my friend. Thank you very much for watching and happy listening.
to you. Look at the sky, it's the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly came from above. He led me to you. He led me to you.
So great. On the bass, Mr. Toriboy Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Orima Yosuke-san. Yeah.